Hi, hello, good evening, good day. We are here. Big Brother 26, thank God. Back to basics. There's a lot to discuss. A lot of it has absolutely nothing to do with the season. Because we were at House Chops last night. We celebrated the premiere. We watched none of it. We had to watch it today. We had a blast. We'll be sharing some of our favorite photos from that. We also drafted our teams. It was a secret. We didn't share anything with you guys. We did post on the socials like what we decided, but we're going to be discussing those things as well as Julie Judgment. Julie Judgment, there's so much to do. Let's get into it. Happy Big Brother season premiere week. I am Kyle Petty, and I am joined, as always, by my festy besties, John Dunphy and Gina Morgino. This is Strat Chat, all right? You can find us on all the socials at Strat Chat Pod. Eventually, we'll be making our way to the blue sky, but now that we have to pay for Twitter in order to stream there, we're going to be posting on Twitter a whole lot. All right, so fuck Blue Sky. Sorry about that. Aggression. Be aggressive. Anyway, I want to know what you all are thinking about this cast. Okay, because we're going to be going through our draft picks and everything. But with this new software we want to hear from you. All right, so scan the QR code. Let us know who you think is going to be winning this season of BB26. You're not down with QR, you're watching on one device, that's fine. Hop in the comments. Use the hashtag with their first name. Let us know what's going on. These are supposed to be updating live. We'll be finding out. Let's see how it all goes. But so you guys, before we even get into our draft picks or anything like that, because obviously we picked certain people. Do you have a different thought? Who do you think might win this just based on some of these intros? Because I definitely already have different opinions. Regardless of the Mike Bloom videos and things like that. After seeing these people and how they came to be, I find it very interesting. What are you thinking? What are your first impressions?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting cast. It's a very interesting cast. Like, there's obviously some more obvious physical threats than others, but I don't really think that anyone is totally outmatched. I feel like people could do pretty well in comps across the board, like whether they're mental or physical. Really don't like Kenny.
Yeah, I was not surprised that he is the one person that we did not draft. I mean, obviously, spoiler alert, but that doesn't really shock me. And I'm still not digging him. I was hoping that I was going to have a new opinion after watching him, but nope.
Yeah, he not a fan of Kenny.
He just gives like Derek, but worse.
He gives icky Derek. He gives icky Derek.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, not a fan of Brooklyn from Dallas. Sorry. Not into her.
It's like based purely on just the Mike Bloom videos. I was like kind of here for her. She was on my short list. And then just the more things that I have learned about her and like alleged social circles and things of that nature, I'm like getting less and less endeared to her.
I know.
Honestly, like, I'm glad to hear that because I was in Ireland when this cast list dropped and I did not watch any episodes. I just saw pictures of people and the one video of them preseason, like pouring candy into that bowl or whatever. And even from that, I just kind of felt like I don't like her.
Because I drafted her, I'll wait.
I know. I would love to be proven wrong. Because like I was really high on her, and then I've just gotten lower and lower, and I want to be wrong. I want to.
Yeah. Oh God. All right, so those are initial thoughts. We'll check in on our poll a little later. But first, we had our premiere last night. We saw the first 8 house guests move in. Do you think Julie just did a costume change on the same night, or do you actually think this was like a 2-part extravaganza? I think they just went up into the HOH room and hid, and then came down when it was time
I
to
did
be
think
revealed.
about it, but like her hair looked different too. So like I would like to believe it was a different day, but I would not
this is
put it
all
past
one
them to give
night.
her like a couple of hours to just like zhuzh it up a little bit. And
Right?
be like,
Do we think that we
okay.
paid Julie twice in 1 week just for the premiere?
Well, I mean, I'm sure she gets paid for 2 episodes still, but this was all done in one night. I'm sorry.
I tend to agree. But so we saw the first 8 people move in yesterday. Unfortunately, I did not write down who those 8 people were. But yeah. How did that whole thing end? You had 2 different competitions. Well, first of all, it really started with the voting of Ainsley, right? Do we want to have this 17th house guest move in? If you said yes, they were kind of told that there might be some kind of an advantage to their game if they did so. If they vote against it, it was going to be a no. You were not going to receive said advantage. The people who went in that first night. Is this the right picture? What do I have here? Because I took little pictures to try and make sure. We had Cam, right? Tucker, Angela, who I love Angela. After actually watching the episode, we saw really none of her last night. But watching and seeing her video and everything, and just how excited she is to be there. I don't know, everything.
I'm very endeared towards her.
I really like her. Rubina. Joseph, who is this? Oof, it's not a great picture. I don't know. Chemo, and I think Mackenzie.
That's all true.
Yeah. Oh, was Chelsea the other one?
Chelsea was
Chelsea.
yesterday. Yeah.
Chelsea. Yeah.
That's who I'm looking at here. And again, I know I already mentioned Mackenzie before, and I know we're going to do the draft later, but I am not digging Mackenzie at all. She has given me rejected Love Island.
Oh man,
yeah, I feel
Mackenzie,
like
she's one of yours, right?
She is one of mine. Yeah, and I'm already regretting it, and we haven't even really done anything yet. I mean, we'll see. It's really too early to say. Nothing has happened, but like,
it's so funny. Like, I feel like all I'm seeing is like BB Twitter comparing her, being like, no, she's just like a better Angela, and it's like you're only saying that because they look almost identical and she has more personality. Like, you haven't seen her do anything yet.
How could anybody possibly say she's a better Angela at this point? We don't know anything about her.
They're like, oh, she's giving like elevated Angela, and I'm like, we literally have seen a diary room from this girl.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know anything about these people.
How could anybody possibly have that kind of opinion? I don't
so much of her talk though has been centered around, oh, this is the kind of guy that I want, and this is what I'm like, honey, you're not here for that. All right, either you're here for $750K and the title, or get out. All right, so I'm not impressed by that. Like, I don't know why we're talking so much about what you like in a man. Like, that's not why we're gathered here today. So that gives me some pause. It's making me think you don't really know what you got yourself into. So there is that. I do like Matt's comment here. Shout out to the cute chubby chaser on the cast. Because Leah is also giving recruit. So like,
I'm liking her a lot more than I expected to based on the Mike Bloom videos, though.
Me too. Because all of her videos were like, oh well, my mom and sister love this show, and it's like, well, girl, did you watch it at all though? Do you even know what this is?
I feel like all of her preseason stuff was so dry. She wasn't showing a lot of personality. And then like earlier today, a bunch of her like past Twitter things have been like resurfacing or whatever. And then seeing her in this episode, I'm like, oh, you could be fun. I think I like you.
Did you see the one about men's balls being like used grocery bags?
I I was like, I think I like her. I think this is my girl.
Yeah,
Can we-
I might have made a mistake.
Can we put her picture up, Leah? Because
yeah, we can put her picture up. We can put her
There-
picture up.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason I see like a slight Nicole Franzo
I
resemblance.
saw you tweet that. I don't see it. I really don't.
I
can
see
see
it
a little
but
bit
I
in the
don't
face.
want to see it. I don't
want to see.
it.
I don't want to see it either, but I can't not.
Yeah, because like she's nobody's fave. So there's that. We'll leave that.
Yeah,
one
Nicole
there.
Franzo is
Yeah, we're
the
really
worst.
hoping for better from this
Sorry,
Leah.
girl.
She does seem to have the endorsement from Janelle saying that cocktail
Yeah.
servers have apparently done well in this world. So like that makes me excited, but I also think that the other cocktail servers that we had that played this game knew what the game was. It's just she didn't just happen. Not here just by happenstance, because my mom and sister watched the show, and it's like, well, did you ever sit with them? Family time, like what's
Right.
I don't know if like we, now that we're on a different software, can pull up the comments, but Matt Blevins over here saying that he sees Brittany Haynes. I back that. I can see that in her more than Nicole.
Yes. Oh, I think John was thinking more physically.
No, I'm saying I think she looks more like Brittany than like Nicole.
I think almost like a mixture of them both, to be honest. Like Brittany's lips with Nicole's upper face.
Yeah. I think her DRs would give me Brittany Haynes for sure. For sure. And Frank, welcome back. Welcome back to the chat. If you're voting for Tucker to be your favorite person, just toss a hashtag and event so your vote is logged, or your vote is logged. Just like saying logged, like that, logged. Remember Ren and Stimpy?
Probably.
Log.
Yes.
Log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Oh my god.
It's better than
The
that.
important
It's
conversations here on Chat Chat, always.
You're welcome.
What is happening?
Get out of here. You love it.
Wait, also, John, whose last name is that?
Cachet.
Yeah, it's
I'm an
Cachet.
idiot. I'm thinking
decided,
somebody from this cast. I was like, who is that?
No, yeah, I know that Cachet is not in the cast of Baby 26, but we saw her last night at House Shops. It was the second year in a row that we saw her at House Shops, and I love her very much. So
No, she's a real one. No, I support it. I totally support it. So let's see here. The people who voted no to Ainsley coming into the game, that would be Cam, Tucker, Chemo, and Chelsea. Hate to say it, I would have said no too if I didn't know what this was.
Of course I would have.
Yeah,
The
the
last
whole
time
point
that
of
I've
this is to
seen
get people out of here. Why
the
would I
last
be
time that
voting
I've
someone else
seen
in?
a house guest get voted in was when Paul got back into BB19, and we saw what happened there. So, of course, I'm saying absolutely not. We have what we have. Don't mess with us.
Absolutely.
Like,
Even
enough.
if I didn't know this person, nothing like that. We always say this is a numbers game. Why would I increase the numbers? That's not what I did not come here for that. So apparently that Ainsley person that recorded these videos for this nonsense is a TikToker. Do you know her, Gina? That's your world.
I am unfamiliar with her, but I did see the posts about who it is. I've never seen her before.
yeah, how dare?
How dare? So
sorry. Of the millions of people that use TikTok, I didn't know this one.
Do better. Do better.
Yes, you're supposed to be the talk tick queen.
The talk.
The half talk, the full talk, all the talk.
All the talks, every single talk. The people who voted yes was Rubina, Joseph, Angela, and Mackenzie. Now, I want to say these were all very nice votes, either people being benevolent, but I don't think that Mackenzie really even understands what she voted for. So I don't want her to have any credit.
The only person that I feel like I saw something was like, I think it was Leah. They like went back after and they were like, well, now the people who voted yes had the chance to get an advantage. And you saw her go, I knew it. It's like, okay, so at least like even though you haven't seemingly watched the show, you at least like had the wherewithal to be like, right, I don't want you in here, but I want something good for me.
That means that maybe there were certain nights that we were all having dinner as a family and it started to get a little bit too close to Big Brother time. They were having good conversation at the table and they were like, you know what? Like, we have to go watch Big Brother. She's like, oh, I guess I'll watch with you so we can continue our good conversation. That is the extent of the knowledge I believe Leah has.
Or something like in Sequester, yeah.
Yes. That's probably more likely, but far prefer my very
I also prefer your
extensive,
version.
very detailed version, very specific. That's certainly what I enjoy doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But there's that. Night one had two different competitions, different from what we saw on tonight. The people who were up for an upgrade, these are the people who said yes to Ainsley coming into the game. They got to compete for an upgrade. And they were swung around in this chair and had to memorize this color sequence, which I just thought was,
Oh, this was ridiculous.
how could you possibly? I mean, it was fun to watch, like as a person, as as a viewer, but like I don't think I would have gotten more than the first four. It just kept going, and I was like, when are you going to stop?
Yeah, it was very long.
Yeah.
I know, like after a while, like I was like, I would have been able to memorize it if it was like at most like 8.
Yeah, I think
it kept
Eight,
going. I was
wow.
like,
there were I think the farthest anyone got was 4 colors, and Mackenzie won it just based on time, from what I could tell.
Oh,
So
okay. All right.
yeah.
You're a good note keeper. I had already given up. This was a lot to me.
From what I saw, only it was like 2 people I think got 4 right, but Mackenzie did it faster. That was all. So,
Okay. And the downgrade competition that was given to the people who voted against Ainsley joining the competition. They had to go into a 4 different little room, 4 different little, what do I want to call them, stations that had like scary things in them. You had to put your head inside, figure out what the word was, and like run to the side. This was stupid. You're making faces. This would bother you. This wouldn't bother me at all.
I just wouldn't want to be that close to something icky.
but
But
you're
it's,
not
like,
that
literally
close.
not close, right? Like this
Yeah,
was
you have
I
like a
know.
barrier. Nothing's
Yeah.
actually touching you. I thought this
This
was
is
so
like-
lame.
is super lame. It was like Fear Factor with like bumpers on. Like
Bumpers.
bowling. Like,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Because
No,
like, it didn't mean
totally.
anything. It's like basically you're at like an aquarium.
I
An
just
aquarium.
Behind the glass,
I felt like these games were super lazy. I thought
Yeah.
all year you plan for a 2-night premiere. And this is what we get. 2
Well,
episodes.
well, hold on. I don't want to slam the color thing. I thought the color thing was fun, and I liked it because it felt equitable. Like,
But
there's
it was so
I
lame
also
though.
I just like that there's
Nobody
like
did well.
it was something we hadn't seen before. I was like, good job, you gave us something new. Fine, I'll accept something new.
Mhm.
You know,
I like the color thing.
I would have liked it more if it was more competitive, but it was like, okay, the 2 people got 4, somebody got like 2, and then someone else got nothing. It was like, it wasn't fun. It was like, oh, this person did really well. Who's going to beat them? It was like, no, everybody just did terrible. There was just one person that did slightly less terrible than everyone else.
I like that though. Can you imagine an HOH competition that was down to this, just silly ass colors? Like literally anyone can get it. And I feel like that's what makes that exciting. That's what gives you the potential to have a power struggle going on.
right? And like to Matt Blevin's point there, I feel like so much of the last, I want to say 5 seasons, but I feel like it's been more than that. So many of the recent seasons have skewed so physical, and you get you get situations like last season where it's like Jag can just win out because he is the most physically fit person in the house.
Right.
So I do like that it's like more crapshooty competitions because you can have anything happen,
That's how these first competitions always are. Remember with the one where they had the weird like face where they had to make it up and like they had those. I feel like these first competitions are always super lame.
Well,
And
yes,
then
except
it
they
always
also
gets
had that thing from last season where I don't remember exactly what was going on, but I just remember Nicole and her long legs in those heels sprinting. And it's like, if that was me, I already lost. I'm not going to win.
I feel like that ended up being
against Nicole.
I'm
I'm out.
It might have been a puzzle on the other side. I don't remember, but either way, she was like booking it down.
It could have been. It doesn't matter. I mean, anyone can get a puzzle right, especially when something that's timed, because it's not that many pieces.
Right.
So if you have that much of a head start, I'd be winded just with my first pass.
Right.
I feel like
I could do puzzles. I
right.
wouldn't get the pieces fast enough.
I just feel like the seasons always start like this. We get early on in the premiere, we get these like kind of stupid carnival games where anybody can win and it's a crapshoot. And then the season progresses and they get more and more physical and the comp beast just takes it over. I don't think we should be giving Big Brother any credit
That's
for these
partially
early
why my
season...
draft team looks like my draft team. Let's be
Right.
real.
But I don't think we should be giving Big Brother any credit for this first premiere competition because I feel like it's always like a bullshit competition like this.
Okay. Ooh.
Nice.
Very. Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh. Ooh, we were trying to come in here being positive. Polly had a really great.
No, listen. I'm still excited.
In the comps. All right. Well, all right.
I'm still excited. I'm just saying, you know,
I'm just admittedly
underwhelming
a little
premiere.
taken aback. That's not where I thought we were going to start disagreeing. I thought tonight was just going to be a smooth ride. So I'm shocked. I'm shocked, and we'll just record that. But we didn't actually know now who was the lowest competitor here, right? They didn't really say anything in this first episode. We didn't really come to find things out until tonight. And that's kind of what brings us there. Before we get into tonight's episode, I want to remind you to vote for who you think is going to win. Scan the QR code. Let us know some things. We got Julie Judgment coming up. There's a lot of voting. All right, so I hope you guys are settled in. We're testing this out. We don't really know how things are going to go. Hashtag first name in the comments. Who you think is going to win. Scan the QR code. Let us know some things. Any Hoosers, going into night 2 is when we met Lisa, Leah, Takor, Quinn, Kenny, Brooklyn, Cedric, and Matt. Right out of the gate, let me just tell you. Well, because
I was waiting for this.
Because of the way that the episode ended, I don't want to officially put this on the table, but I'm interested in potentially the very first Strat Chat team draft swap. There is somebody I really like a lot, and I really wish I had this person on my team. And I would love to open up a conversation where maybe we trade people because, like, my God, am I obsessed with Cedric.
Yeah? That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Oh no, his DRs were like so fun, and I'm so endeared towards him. I don't even remember what it was that he said that made me laugh, and I was like, I like this guy.
Well, I feel like from the at the beginning of the Mike Bloom interview video, I was like, I found him kind of grating. And as the video went on, the more that I saw of him, the more endeared I became. And I was like, okay, wait, I think I just need time to warm up to you.
Yeah,
but
I need to get to know you.
Yeah.
I am so tired of Cedric already.
Oh my goodness, what's going on?
I'm so tired of him. I'm gonna try and turn on my Playboy charm. Every single DR was my Playboy charm, and I'm like, I don't care.
21-year-old kid.
Okay, all right. I know other 21-year-olds, and every time they talk, the words Playboy charm don't come out of their mouths.
All right, well. I find that unfortunate.
What made me laugh of him tonight was you had this whole thing of Kenny being like, nobody is gonna know that I'm an undercover cop. I have this on lock. No one will ever find out. And the immediate next thing you see is Cedric being like, oh, I see he's got the American flag tattoo that either means some kind of military or law enforcement. I feel like he's some kind of cop vibe. And I was like, literally the second someone saw you, you were clocked.
Yes, and there was also something else he said in that because he was like, oh, maybe you're military or a cop or something. There was something else he said that was like, right, I would also be intimidated and concerned by a white man with an American flag tattoo. Sorry.
Right.
It's a very different message. And one black man to another black man. I feel you. I don't remember exactly what he said. I'm going to rewatch it for that. But there was something else that gave me the impression that you were being a little slick with your response there. And I like Cedric. I kind of like him, but I don't want to initiate a potential trade situation.
Well, who said I was going to be open to trading? I chose
I
him.
didn't know. I didn't say you were open to trading. I am saying that I don't really want to properly begin the conversation about it. I'm not even propositioning you yet until I know if he gets his disadvantage.
Oh,
Because
sure,
I
sure,
might
sure.
not be interested. If he's going to be out this week, then sorry, Cedric. Like,
Which what I mean, well, I don't want to jump the gun, but this disadvantage is really crazy.
well, we're kind of here. Because so let's just do the comps real quick.
Yeah.
The disadvantage comp was, what was this one?
The thing with you put your face on the thing and
Right,
you gotta,
you had to put your face on like a disc and ride it through this little maze, and you had to drop it into slots 1, 2, and 3. You're not allowed to use your hands. I think they did shoulders and neck or something was fine, but like no hands, no arms, things like that.
it feels germy. I didn't like it.
I'm sure all the discs are,
Well,
one
so I
use
think
only.
I think it was Puya from Rob Has a Podcast tweeted like, I hope they're washing those discs in between people. And I was like, also my immediate thought, I'm not putting my face on something someone's already put their face on.
I think they have individual sets of discs for each person.
I
That's
hope
what I'm thinking.
That's all
what
I
I'm
could think
thinking.
about the entire competition is how many people put their face on that before somebody else put their face.
Each disc, I think, is one use only. That's what I'm saying.
Single use disc.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give that a thought, which does surprise me.
Also surprises me. That feels like a very Kyle thought.
Right, as a very self-professed germaphobe, that does surprise me that I didn't think of it. But again, I think I was also just so caught up in the fact that we're seeing brand new things. Like that's exciting, and this is something that it felt equitable to me. This is not something that could have been practiced at home. You most certainly did not have these discs that you ran through with your face.
Yeah.
Most certainly did not practice that at home. So like everyone's on the same field. This is something that everyone can do well with. The other one felt very challenge inspired. You were in like this, like, I don't know, like I don't even know what you want to call it, a trailer or a bunker kind of a thing. And you had to match up the different pieces to plug them in all while it's spinning. This felt like something we might see on the challenge with the spinning environment and things like that. I thought that was fun. Did you like that
one? I like that one a lot, actually.
You liked it. Oh, good. John?
Yeah, it was all right. It's all right. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
You're very tepid on the season. Very tepid.
Listen. I'm just annoyed that we had to watch the same episode 2 nights in a row with different games. This could have been 2 hours last night.
It could have been 2 hours last night. I will say, what I ended up kind of liking about this premiere, though, I do like 2 separate groups moving in. This is something that Drag Race does. Like, they like to separate everybody, but I don't like how they do it. Because
I was going to say, I feel like it's not widely liked in that sphere either.
No, I don't like it because it takes too long to get everybody in because they only have 1 episode a week. This felt different because like we got one on Wednesday, we got one on Thursday, and now we're done. So now we're off to the races. Like we're not delaying. This is not a 2-week premiere situation. And I think it will be interesting to kind of see how certain things play out. Like I think it will be noteworthy to take note of who the first 8 was and who the next 8 was. Because I feel like that might create some kind of camaraderie a little bit.
I thought about that too tonight.
Yeah. So like you could have, in effect, just set up 2 sides of the house and not really be in, but there was nothing really established for it. It'll just be interesting to kind of see how that one goes. So I'm liking.
You mean moving in 2 different nights?
Yeah. So you have 2 separate groups of people. You're going to feel a little beholden to your original group because those are the people you first met. So never mind the first 4. Now it becomes the first 8. And what happens as you move forward? Do you stick with that? Likely not, but that could cause some good fights.
Yeah, I just don't know though, because we don't really know. Like we've talked, right? Did they record all this in one night? Like, how long were they actually separated for? Were they separated for a full 24 hours, or was it just, an hour? Because I feel like we see the first 4 in, they'll be like, oh, yeah, let's make a pact right now. And then the next 4 come in, and one person thinks, oh, yeah, that person's hot, so I want to work with them. So the whole first 4 pact is done with. So, for us, we experienced this over the course of 2 nights. But, for the house guests, was this just an hour? You know, like
Yeah.
will any of that setup really play a role? I don't know.
I think that's fair. I would also challenge that back. And do you think it completely matters? I think that if it was a full 24 hours, it solidifies that. But I think even just by separating an hour, when you're dealing with strangers, people you have nothing pre existing with, that's something you can rest on. You all went through an experience together. You know, you all voted on this AI thing, even though you don't. Well, the results of that is a secret, but you still went through that together. You did your competitions together. There's all these little. You're definitely crossing people in the hall. You're definitely crossing in the yard. Like there's little things that happen that you. It just breeds familiarity,
Oh, of
and
course, of course.
that
I just
will reap something later on, even if not nothing large. It'll just be interesting to see how it plays out.
right. I just feel like I feel like we've seen this kind of thing before, though. Like where people are always split up going into the house. Even in like Big Brother Australia, when we had the whole train challenge versus you can go into the house first challenge. You know what I mean? Like they split up the cast in Big Brother Australia. I don't think those like alliances really stuck in any way. Like I feel like I don't know if this is enough time for people to really build any solid trust to have like that much of an impact in the game. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, I agree. I don't think it is enough time to build up enough trust. But I think that it would be grounds for an argument for people thinking, "Oh, you shouldn't have gone against me. I was part of your hate." I don't think there is no foundation. I think that's what makes that interesting, to see how it
Yeah.
germinates. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree.
So that's all. You don't have to agree. I just to make sure people heard me. Um, but that's that. So as far as our two people up for this disadvantage, it was Chelsea and who was the other person?
Cedric.
Right, and that's why I'm not sure that I want to keep him.
No, they both got the disadvantage. It was one person from each night.
All right, so remind me what this disadvantage was. There was a lot of information. I feel like that was
And it's
dropped in the
all
last 5
really
minutes.
bad. Like they are both
Oh,
still
right, they can't
eligible.
vote. Oh, yeah,
They can't
They're both
vote.
still.
They're a mascot of some kind, right? They can't vote. They're a
right.
mascot.
Okay.
So they can't vote. They can't participate in either the HOH or the veto. They can only be essentially cheerleaders on the sidelines, but they are still eligible to be put up for eviction and voted out. So they have absolutely no agency in what happens. They can't even,
Right.
if they get put up for eviction, they can't even compete for veto for their own safety. And honestly, I feel like that makes whoever the first HOH's job really freaking easy, because you have two immediate targets that can go up, can't do anything about it, and just like bing bang boom instead of making new enemies.
Well, unless they want to work with one of those people, though. I mean,
Yeah, but that first HOH is like, you get literally no blood on your hands by doing this. You have nothing to go off of, so you can literally just say like, well, they already can't play veto and they're already at a disadvantage, so we might as well just put them up because I don't know anybody else well enough to make it.
well, yeah,
Better
but
decision,
even to Kyle's point, right? Like that first 8 in, if they have like a somewhat of a connection, what if someone from their side wins HOH? They might not want to put up the person that came in last from their group. They might want to put up 2 people from the other group that came in
I
after them.
guess, but I still feel it like on the first HOH, people are so hesitant to make waves because they don't want to make enemies that like if you are given a freebie of like, here's already 2 people that are on the bottom, you're just going to be like, well, all right. How often do we see like there's like those night 1 competitions and it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to put up the 2 people who did the worst,
Yeah,
it's just
but
like
I
an
also
easy gimme.
I could also see people being like, "Oh, they don't get to vote, and they have to be the mascot, so we won't put them up." I could just as easily see that happening. Like,
Yeah, I think both are certainly possible, and that kind of excites me, because I also see a world in which you can convince people. Us as super fans can certainly understand the value in. I know that you're kind of in a powerless situation, so you're going to feel a little bit beholden to me. So maybe I want to keep you safe because I know you're going to do things in my favor if I pay you this solid now. So
That's
that
also fair. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like even if I didn't intend to work with you, there might be some value in this because this is a fantastic opportunity to build trust immediately. I was the HOH, I didn't put you up for all the reasons that John just stated. It makes perfect sense to put you up, but I didn't. So you owe me. Do I trust that you'll pay it back? That's a different conversation. That'll be interesting to see how that one plays out too. But I love this.
I do.
love it.
I don't know. I feel like from a production standpoint, that is a ton of agency to take away from somebody night one.
I just feel like
it is.
I also feel like we have not
Nobodies.
seen. I feel like we haven't seen this cast interact at all. And like while there might be two seemingly easy people to just put up, it's also possible that within 24 hours a house target could emerge and it becomes like a let's get this person out and just put up somebody else as a pawn. You know, like we really don't know anything about how this game is really going to go yet, because I feel like all we've seen is people move in their little intro videos and then each of them individually competing in competitions. We haven't seen how any of them actually interact with each other yet. And like, for all we know, a huge target is just going to reveal themselves immediately. I feel like that's what happened to who was it? Kirsten last year.
Kirsten, yeah.
So,
yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
I also have to say, because Chelsea, who I still love, I'm still rooting for. You know, she was my first pick in the draft. Was very, very disappointed that she forgot about having to plug in that giant plug.
Such a bust
in the first competition. Yeah,
it was heartbreaking. Like, come on, girl.
She got all the answers to the questions pretty quickly, but then she just needed to plug that thing in, and she didn't do it. And it was that's the reason she, I think, is in the trouble she's in. You know?
I will say shout out to production though, because they made it abundantly clear, even if you're not like an eagle-eyed viewer like we are, like they made it abundantly clear that this is why she's having a rough go. It had nothing to do with the words she selected on the separate stations, whatever.
Yeah,
this is all related to the plug.
Yeah. Oh, the camera was just on that plug on the ground. And like they just kept it was like that was like perfectly like in focus on the ground in the background. And they just kept showing her hitting that button, and it was just bonk, bonk. And it was like, and the whole time I'm sitting there like, pick up the damn plug, Chelsea.
You're screaming at the TV like, please.
Yes. And I give them a lot of credit because I feel like people are caring already. Like it's early to say because I feel like Big Brother has gotten so lazy lately. But like this felt good. It's like, all right, we want to make sure you understand why she's getting it wrong. I don't know. I just feel like there's a little bit more care paid to this thing. So rooting for you, Chelsea. The two people who did the best in their competitions, it was Mackenzie and
Quinn, I think.
Quinn. They're up for
Quinn.
Different advantages. You've got America's Veto, which what does that mean? Like, are we voting? Like, we haven't seen America be part of the equation at all.
And it feels so early.
Yeah, what does America's veto mean? So you want a veto? Like, do we get to put a person up with whoever? No, that doesn't make any sense.
We get to vote
nominees. Maybe we get to
veto
vote
someone?
Yeah, I don't know. What does America's veto mean? That's
well, it has to be their power, though.
Or maybe they choose to use a veto and we select who comes down. Yummy. Oh my gosh, we would all be dining sufficiently if that was the case. Wouldn't that be so good? All you had the right to do is just decide if the veto was used, but you have no power. Actually, that sounds very possible. All right, you heard it here first.
Could be.
All right, America's veto. You heard it here first. Hashtag Strat Chat. But the other one is a deep fake HOH. What does that mean?
Well, when I hear deep fake, it reminds, because didn't we see at one point there was like somebody won HOH and then somebody else like secretly got to actually control it? That when I hear deep fake, I think of like something I think of like impersonating something else, you know? So like that's kind of like someone else is the actual face of the HOH, but you get to like pull the strings.
Yeah, maybe. Or could the deep fake be you put up two people and those people are not the actual people that are your nominees and your other nominees are made in secret and it's revealed at a later time? Deep fake.
That I like that sort of idea better. if that's what it is.
And now, what does that mean, though? Do you now not get to play in veto because you weren't the actual nominees? Does everyone play in veto? Like, what does that mean?
Well, I feel like in like those kind of situations, we see a lot of like everybody gets to play HOH except veto. You're saying just kidding. I'm thinking like the next HOH. I'm a liar. Ignore me.
Wow, how dare you?
Oof.
People make mistakes.
Wow. No margin of error.
Jeez, he's
allowed.
ruthless tonight.
I know.
Judy attitude up here.
We demand perfection.
Judy attitude. I love that. I'm gonna act like I came up with that. I'm just delete this from the YouTube channel. That was always mine. I don't.
I'm honestly surprised I've never said that on here before. I say it all the time.
Because I love Judith Scheindlin.
I'd like to know something. What do you guys think? So, like, obviously, both groups, both nights, voted no to inviting Ainsley into the house.
Mm-hmm.
What if they voted yes? What would have happened? What would have been different? Would we have, like, would there actually have been a person named Ainsley coming into the house, or would it have just been like, thank you for voting me in, but I'm just an AI computer. I'm a cyborg.
Well, maybe
what would have happened?
The answer. Thank you for voting me in. This is me.
Right. So, like, no matter what.
Which
also, then, I have to say, makes me a little annoyed. It feels like this was all a farce. This whole premiere.
John,
we're gonna have you vote. We're gonna have you vote, but no matter what, the outcome is the same.
Well, yeah, I think. Well, I will. I will agree that it was a farce, but I will not give it the negative tinge you've given to it, because I don't think it was ever really about Ainsley at all. It was about a measure of you as a person and to see how the rest of your path is laid forward.
Yeah, it was just about splitting them into their competition, like you're either in or you're out type deal.
Right. I think it sounds like a lot of work to do nothing. Just split everybody up and have them play a couple of games.
Oof. Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first. John, not enthused. BB26 off to a maudlin start.
I'm tired of it. To be honest.
Oof. All right. Well,
we're like 2 hours into the season.
I know. You're like big mad. I'm
not mad. I'm just, this is the best we can do.
All right. Well, let's check in and see how people's are going. Because I don't really know what else to do with this. We only have a couple of votes in. Y'all done tried it. Do you see me moving this around, by the way?
I do, yeah.
Oh, you do? All right.
We're learning as we go, y'all.
Yeah, we are. 1 and 1. What the hell is that? There's way more people than that watching. So, like, get it together. Hashtag first name in the comments. Scan the QR code. Let us know. Who do you think is going to win? Get it together. Get involved. You just watch me just walking around preparing lunch for tomorrow. Get your votes in. Like, what's going on? Democracy at its best. Get those in. I think it's a perfect time, really, also now to discuss our draft teams.
Let's get into it.
Right.
Let's do it. I was just actually thinking about my team. So
you think about your team. All right. Well, let's talk about it. These are the people that you selected via text. So walk us through it. You selected an array of people. Tell us why.
I did. Yeah. Well, so I picked Chelsea. Mm-hmm. Really liked her vibes. I think she can do well. She seems very competitive. She played, I think she said, collegiate basketball. So I think she could be good physically. But I'm not happy, obviously, with her premiere performance because she did get the downgrade. So she is at a disadvantage. But I'm hoping she can turn it around. She is from Cucamonga, which I love. Cucamonga. Everybody knows that word. Yeah.
You only care about the Cucamonga.
Yeah, Cucamonga is all that matters.
She was very fun. She's fun.
Yeah. I really hope that she doesn't get screwed by this disadvantage. Rabina, though, I'm actually like super excited about.
I like her a lot.
I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. I was like, I will either find her very grating or very fun, and there's no in between. And it took me some time to figure it out.
Very fun, I think.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to like her.
Yeah, I think she's really gonna get along with people. Um,
Yeah, she's
we'll
fun.
see. We'll see.
She's
see.
also teeny tiny.
Yeah,
I saw her
she
moving
could.
in with everybody. I was like, oh, she's little.
I
So
wonder though.
tiny.
Like, I feel like she could do good in some of these endurance comps. So
Yeah, those are definitely built for smaller people. I think that could really
yeah,
help her out.
Ah, a lot of
yeah.
hope for Rubina.
Chemo. I'm still riding with. I still think he's a very nice man.
A very nice man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems fine.
And
I found his initial interviews to be a little grating, but I didn't find that in the rest of the videos we saw. So
yeah,
I'm jazzed about him. And he's. I feel like there's a couple of people on this season that actually know what the game is. Like we casted a few more people this time. I hate the word casted. It's not a word. We cast a few more people this time that actually know the game. They're actual fans of it, and I think that's going to make a big difference. And Chemo is one
right.
of them. So, yeah, definitely excited to kind of see where he goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Chemo. I do.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Leah and Lisa.
Leah. Yeah, Leah. We'll see. She's a self-proclaimed chubby chaser. So,
She is. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
I also just
Equal
love that that was what
opportunity
she decided.
employer.
I love that that was what she decided her identifier is. Like, honestly, work.
Didn't she also say something like when people when they lose a little bit of weight, it makes me
She's
want
like, it
to
gives me
grow
the
up?
ick. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. Oof, you're my
Like, we're
kind of
doubling
girl.
down, girly.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
So,
Maybe
yeah.
I'm moving to Pittsburgh.
Imagine working with Leah and you're trying to work out and get more fit, and you show up to work one day and she just vomits in front of you
It's like,
because
what are
you
you
lost
doing?
weight.
Because that's not what you're supposed to look like. Like, it's a disaster.
So there's Leah.
And the other person is Lisa. Any
I got to
thoughts,
tell
Ted?
you. Yeah, so I'll say Lisa was my last draft pick.
She
She was my
was.
last draft pick,
Mm.
and I wasn't sure about her. I actually think I like Lisa more than I thought I would. She seems
Mm.
fun. I actually think she seems pretty cool.
Yeah, tell us why. What do you think is cool about her? You like her butterfly clips?
I honestly didn't even really notice the butterfly clips. I just sort of from her videos, I thought she seemed very fun.
All right.
Because before. Honestly, though, I didn't see any videos before the season started. I just saw some pictures.
Have you still not watched any of the Mike Bloom clips or
No.
anything? It was like a 2-hour video, so I'm not
I didn't
judging
watch.
if you didn't.
I did not watch any of it. No.
And at this point, he's like, I ain't watching.
And I will never
now
watch.
we're gonna get to know them, so it doesn't really matter what they say.
You guys can go fig yourself with your with your silly videos.
The day, well, I mean, to be fair, the day they came out, I was sitting in an airport in another country.
Listen, you have every right to have not seen them. That is so fair.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'm just asking about it. Just asking. Very expensive. Very different John tonight. He's
I'm tired. All right.
You're tired. Yeah, you go to bed. So Gina, what about your team? What you thinking? You dig it? Quinn was your first pick.
Quinn was the first pick of the season.
I was going to say that's important to note. Quinn is not only your winner pick, but the very first pick of the Strat Chat draft. Tell us why. What about Quinn endeared you?
I, in those videos, was immediately taken with Quinn. I just really, just top to bottom, super fan, love for the game, had, in my opinion, some of the most well thought out answers in terms of what is my strategy going to be going into the house? What do I plan to do? How do I plan to navigate? Was just very calculated in all of the strategic talk, and also say again?
Very planned and intentioned.
Yeah, and even just in tonight's episode, literally every single time that Quinn was either in the diary room or interacting with someone, I was laughing. I really, really am so endeared, and I'm so excited to see what the season brings.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah,
good.
I will say I really I wish that I knew more about Quinn before our draft, because like I said, I have not done my research on anybody even still.
Mm-hmm.
And but Quinn, if I knew more about Quinn, I would have loved to have gotten Quinn on my team. Yeah, I never would have gotten the chance because Gino,
literally from the I literally like before we even
Yeah.
chose the draft order, I was like, if anyone takes Quinn, I'm going to lose it. I
Right,
need
right,
Quinn
right.
on my team.
Like I obviously I never had a chance because Gina drafted first, but like going into the draft before knowing the order, if I knew more about Quinn, Quinn would have been the top of my list.
Mhm.
So I
I'm
really
so
like
happy.
Quinn
I'm
already.
so happy
Yeah.
Quinn's on my team.
Good for Gina.
Really like
Love
Quinn.
it. Good. Next up is Matt. Ooh.
See, I don't know. I mean, like, I liked Matt's answers in the Mike Bloom video, but honestly, like, my next three people, a lot of the reason why I chose Matt, Cam, and Cedric all had to do with the fact that, like, a lot of these competitions tend to skew more physical. And these are all people who I think are very physical threats. I think that they're going to give people a run for their money. I think that they have a good chance to win in terms of competition prowess. So I think that that's something that's important to note. But I don't know. Like, I liked the way that Matt answered in those questions. I was surprised that both of you were like, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, you love the way he answered. Sure.
No, I genuinely, I was like, this person has a personality that I think is going to be magnetic for some of the other house guests.
Yeah, he's very
It has
dull.
nothing to
I
do
don't
with
know
his
what you're talking
appearance,
about.
other than being a physical competition threat.
Oh
okay?
yeah, nothing to do with his
No,
appearance.
I swear, I would say it. I would say
it. I liked Matt's preseason stuff. What I have to say, what I saw from this episode is also giving Love Island recruit gone haywire.
In this episode, I could for sure see that.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. We'll see how quickly we adapt to this, because some people find out exactly what the game is and they're just good at it and they just go. So
I was for sure more endeared in the preseason stuff than for what we saw today, but I don't know that necessarily means anything going forward.
I don't know that it does either. All right. Anybody else on your team that you would like to highlight and discuss?
Well, I do want to say, I believe it was Matt and Cam, both of them in their preseason interviews said, like, I want to align myself with a motherly figure. I want to kind of like find like one of like the older women in the cast. And like, that's who I want to kind of like gravitate towards. They both mentioned that, which is why I think that Angela is really, really well positioned. Aside from just being a very endearing person, like I right from the jump was very drawn to her. Yeah. And I know like she's like low on my quote unquote draft order, but she's very I made like a list of like preference for the entire cast, and she is still very high on that list. I just happened to still get her. But
she's way low.
But I don't know. She's really, I find her very endearing. Yes, John.
I gotta tell you, I don't really care for Angela.
Really? Oh! I think she's so cute.
Yeah.
Kyle Petty has left the chat.
I don't. Yeah, I think.
John's a hater tonight.
I think she's kind of full of it. I think.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Full of it. Yeah. Full of what?
Oh, I think she's so cute.
It. Full of it.
Whatever it is, she's full of it.
Exactly.
Wow.
She reminds me a little bit of the mom from Seventh Heaven.
I'm unfamiliar with Seventh Heaven. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, catch up. All right. Yeah. Angela, I think, is not into it. I think she's pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. I think I'm not into it.
This woman
not into it.
I don't get that vibe at all.
Right. Not
fake.
Me either.
Fake. All fake. Fake tears.
I do not get that at all.
Oh yeah. Real estate agent? Come on, she's always selling. Long Beach, California? Come on.
John, I gotta tell you, it's 2 on 1
that's
today.
Her hometown. She currently lives in Utah. So you're dealing with a real estate agent that's literally just selling to Mormons.
Well,
like
not necessarily.
How much selling does that take? I don't feel like they need a lot of convincing. They're looking for a poly-friendly home. Usually, they're looking for just separate living spaces for all the many partners. For whoever is the nature of the. I'm just saying, whoever is the primary partner. Come on, that's a lot of Utah. Am I wrong? So
I
this
don't
is who
know,
she's
honestly.
accepting. I feel like she's a nice lady.
No,
Like I don't
I'm
know.
not.
I'm
I'm
super
not with it.
towards her. Oh,
I'm not with
jeez.
it.
I
I
think
think
she seems
she's.
really, really sweet, and I think the fact that two people in the house in their preseason interviews specifically said they want to work with a motherly
No,
figure
no, they
sets her
gotta
up
go.
really well.
She's got to go. She's got to go. Get her out of there.
Got such a strong like double down and triple down on it. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like we have to
Yeah.
talk off stream about what's going on with you and Angela.
They got beef.
Remember Rachel? I think it was like BB20. What's wrong
What's
with
wrong with
Angela?
Angela?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you and Angela?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not.
God.
I'm not into
about.
it. I'm not buying her story. I'm not into it. Not buying it.
You're making me a little shook to discuss my team because, like, I don't know.
John's a hater today.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm
I
just,
just feel like I'm very unfamiliar with John Dunphy Proudfoot. Like I don't know this man. Like, I know John Dunphy, but
I'm
ever
speaking
since
the
you
truth.
hyphenated, it's gotten wild. Like all the
Cachet gives me, she gives me my confidence.
Gee, I'm telling you, like thug life all of a sudden. I mean, anything else for Team Morgino before we shred Team Petty?
That was all I really had to say. I'm
All right.
I'm satisfied with my team so far.
Still love Cedric, by the way. If this disadvantage does not destroy him, I would love to start a dialogue around the swap. But here's my team, and I like these people. I like them. You know, so I've got Takor, Tucker, Brooklyn, Joseph, and Mackenzie. I 110% stand behind my decision to draft Takor.
I was
love
so
her.
upset you got her.
Yeah.
I
Love
was so
her.
upset.
She's so cute. I love her crocheting. I can't
like
wait
her
to
so
find her on
much.
Etsy. Like I can't wait to get some of her stuff. I would absolutely buy one of her little hats. She is just so precious.
Yeah,
love her.
there's nothing about her that is bad. She is
really
all
love
good.
her.
She is all good.
All
Is
right.
all good, and she is beautiful.
Okay, thank
I think
goodness.
she's so cute.
Now I will be more honest than Gina. My male winner pick was a physical selection. Tucker is hot as hell. Like, what do you want me to say? He's from Boston, lives in Brooklyn. So I don't know. Maybe I'll run into him on the streets. He's a marketing and sales executive. What more do you want? Just gorgeous. Got a gay dad. Did you ask?
So, was he the first person in the house? Because it was funny.
Yeah.
Like the first group that went in, right? Like they all kind of shuffled around, and Tucker just finally was like, "I'll go in." And he said, "Like I know you're not supposed to go into the house first. It's like a curse." But
well, he also in
whatever.
the Mike Bloom video specifically said, "I want to be the one to break the curse. I want to be the first one in the house and the last one out of it."
Ah, very interesting.
I'm fine with all that, except that we're not giving enough shine to my queen, my sister in spirit, Tamar Braxton. I am fairly certain she was first to enter the CBB house.
Oh,
and walked out.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say a lot of people. I'm not saying me, but a lot of people do not consider the offshoots.
I know they don't.
Lore.
I know they don't, but it's just when you're talking about breaking a curse, it's like, well, the curse is not completely broken, but it's also not unbroken. So it just feels a little unacceptable to not give somebody their shine, especially when a celebrity is playing and playing among other people that do sort of know. There's a lot of celebrities that didn't know what it was, right? So it is different, but she was also playing against an Olympic athlete. She was playing against a wrestler. Like there was a lot against her.
Right.
And she also had the drama.
I'm not taking that away from her.
Well, I'm not saying you did. I just want to make sure I give her like the shine she deserves because I feel like I have a very close connection with Tamar. We had a lovely exchange when I met her after her concert during my birthday.
Right.
Yeah, I really love Tamar Braxton. Like outside of the Big Brother world, she's very special to me. So I just want to make sure she gets all the shine that I feel she deserves.
Also, I just want to ask real quick too, Gina.
Yes.
You mentioned the offshoots of Big Brother, right? People not really loving those. Is Big Brother Over the Top considered an offshoot?
I think it is, yeah.
So does it like is that part of the reason it doesn't get like the respect it probably deserves?
I think so, honestly. Like, and I say, like, I don't say people not loving the offshoots. I just say, like, they don't include that information and, like, the curses and the lore and all of that stuff.
And the record
But
keeping and things like that.
I think that the problem with Over the Top is that it only really appealed to live feeders, which to us feels like the majority of the audience because that's who we are. But it honestly is a minority of the audience. Most of the audience are the people that watch it on TV. So I feel like most of the fan base didn't go to Paramount to watch something like Over the Top, which is unfortunate because it's phenomenal. But
right, like I feel like Big Brother Over the Top should not be considered like a a lesser season. I feel like it was a really good season.
That was actually one of the other things that endeared me towards Quinn, because when asked about people's favorite players, Quinn's answer was Jason Roy, which
Which also, to be fair, like Jason Roy also wasn't just on Big Brother.
No, that's
right,
true.
Right.
But if you're talking about successes, it has to go to Jason Roy. It has to go to Over the Top, rather, because we didn't have much successes on the original season.
Well, Quinn is also a super fan, so I also just kind of like assumed that Over the Top was what was a part of that.
Yeah, I would also assume that too. And I think it's also a shame that, like, justice for Over the Top, because like there really should be more discussion around that, because there's a lot of good things there, and people don't even promote that like it was like a real thing.
Yeah.
Not that I love. It was Morgan that won that, right? It was Morgan.
Yeah.
Right.
Not that I love Morgan or anything like that, but like there was a lot of good gameplay that season. So even if you don't love her as a winner, it's just a lot of good stuff that happened there.
Yeah.
It was also just so fun. I feel like we so often see like the majority alliance and the people they pick off. This was such a power struggle between two sides of the house, which is what we always want.
Like every single step of the way, it was back and forth, back and forth.
You never knew what was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, the twists were fun. America got to vote on a bunch of different things, nominees and care packages, and
it was fantastic. Season. Yeah. Anybody who's listening, if you're interested in watching Big Brother Over the Top, it's a rather quick watch in comparison to a regular Big Brother season, and I've had a lot of not success finding it on Paramount Plus. So the way that I did it, I would go to Google and search for like Big Brother Over the Top, find it there, add it to your Paramount Plus watch list via like your phone or whatever like ancillary device you're using, and then go find it on your TV and watch it proper. It's definitely a good watch. You can very easily bang it out over a weekend, but it was like really classic Big Brother. You had a lot of America interaction as well. You had America's care package. You can send either advantages or disadvantages to people in the house. Lots of voting, and again, you had a classic power struggle of one clearly defined side and another one over here, and they're just going back and forth, just trading shots. It is really fantastic.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. The nomination ceremony is a little bit different. Didn't always love how that went down, like a little draggy, but it was a good season, and I don't think the people in there were like overly problematic. Like, there was little questionable things here or there, but it was really, really fun. But we digress. The rest of my team, I feel pretty good about most people. Brooklyn, I was excited about Brooklyn in the very, very beginning, because it seems like we're a super fan. We always like when a mom comes into any parent really, I like when they come into the house and play the game. I feel like they kind of come with a different view than some of the younger people. But it did come out post-cast announcement that she is linked and seems to be pretty good friends with Aaron from Big Brother 15, who we know to be problematic. Like, listen, anyone who loves this show knows that Julie Chen does not ask the good questions during an exit interview. And you can go on YouTube and see the questions that Julie asked of Aaron when she exited. First of all, I think this is the first time we got a boo as somebody.
Oh, was it?
I think it was. I I mean,
I know.
could
I
be
know they're
wrong.
not allowed to boo anymore, but I
No,
didn't
they
know this
can't
was
boo
like that was the
anymore. I
first.
think that was the first time I noticed it, and I can't say I watched every single season. Like there's a couple of seasons early on, those single digit ones. I can't say I watched all of them, but this is the first time I heard it, and pretty not good. And like even when Julie would ask
Pretty
a
not
question,
good.
pretty not good. And when Aaron would kind of pivot around something that wasn't like a real answer, Julie was like, "Absolutely not. I'm a journalist, and we're here for real. We're gonna
Yeah.
be asking you this question, and we're gonna rephrase this, and we're gonna come right back to it. Like you're not
Yeah.
off the
That's
book."
the Julie we need now.
Right. I bring this, Julie. I think I tweeted that. I think I actually had retweeted that conversation. I was just like, hello, this is the Julie I want back because we need to ask the good questions. So it does give me a little pause, like with Brooklyn, but we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. Joseph is interesting to me because he's a super fan. He definitely knows the show. We'll see how that one pairs out. I never really like it when people say, "Oh, I want to model my game after Dan Giesling." That's kind of a red flag to
It's also
me.
like the lame and like everybody says Dan
Right,
Giesling,
of course you're gonna say Dan. Right, and it's like I really don't want you to model your game after anyone. I want you to have your own game and do what you're supposed to. So
Right.
we'll
Right.
see how things kind of go with that. But so I'm a little concerned. And Mackenzie, I still think Mackenzie was looking for Love Island, and this happened. And she's like, "Well, I'm not really in a position to be turning something down. I should just say yes and see where it goes."
I will counter that argument real quick though, because
Yeah, please do. Please
we
make me feel good about my
confirmed
team.
we confirmed know that a past house guest was actually looking to be cast on Love Island and ended up on Big Brother by mistake, and that is Christian Birkenberger. So
And he got into it. He got
that
into it. And
that
loved
doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be flops, because we love
No,
us some Christian.
it doesn't. It doesn't. But like Christian seemed a little bit more energized than I feel like I'm getting from Mackenzie. Mackenzie looks
Sure.
like to me what I was getting from her, at least in tonight's episode, was like I want to make sure that all of my reactions are very animated, very whatever, because I want people to think that I'm a really great person to cast on shows like this, and that is not
Well,
the vibe that I
I
love.
will say though, she was technically the first comp winner of the season.
She was.
So
It doesn't mean she
like,
won't do well comp wise. I'm really just look.
well,
We go for
what was
vibes in
the
Team Petty. It's not just about winning. It's about like who are good people and who do
what
we.
was the what was the upgrade again for the winner of that?
We
We
don't
don't
know
know
who's
yet.
getting what. It's either the America's Veto or the
Deep
fake
fake
HOH.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But, so she's coming in with some power. Maybe even if she was intending to play a different game, maybe coming in and like getting some power right away will, make her feel more strategic. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm hopeful. It's still early. It's still early.
I do on Team Petty real quick want to just circle back around because I feel like I'm missing something that everybody else is seeing and I do not know what it is. Because not only did Kyle pick this person very early on, but every subsequent like draft, podcast, whatever that I've listened to, people are really high on Tucker. And I'm going to be so honest, when I made my list, Tucker was last on my draft list. I was like, I saw his like video interviews. I was like, this man is so irritating. I want no part of it. But everywhere I turn, people are loving this man, and I don't know what I'm missing. And I would love to be explained to because I'm so curious.
I mean, I didn't watch any of the preseason videos, but there's nothing that I found irritating about him from the season.
I don't know
so
what
far.
I'm not seeing that everybody else is seeing. I want to be wrong.
Yeah,
he seems okay. He seems okay.
Yeah, I'm endeared. I'm not sure this is the best company to be in, but Brett does agree. He seems very odd. Sorry.
Well, what is odd about him?
I don't know why he's odd. Like he just seems like a guy.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Kind of cast on this show. Maybe he didn't mean to be here. But he's here.
No, I mean, I look forward to being proven wrong because everybody else sees something that I haven't yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that is.
No, I mean, I also haven't seen anything that makes me feel like, oh, he's the most amazing guy ever. I just feel like he doesn't.
Sure.
He just seems like a normal person.
I just found him kind of grating, but I seem to be in the very minority on that.
Yeah,
So
I guess Brett agrees. I mean, he says he acts normal at first, then he goes quirky.
Well, I don't know what's
it's
wrong
not
with
even
being
quirky.
quirky.
That yeah,
I like quirky. I like quirky.
I like quirky too. I picked Quinn first.
Yeah, yeah.
I vibe with quirky.
Brett
A
adds,
Matt?
I don't dislike him, but I agree that he's not like a Matt. Yeah, I don't
A
put him
Matt-
on this. Oh, I'm
A
assuming
Matt
Matt.
Klotz?
Oh, I
No,
assumed Matt, like he meant
I'm
Matt
assuming Matt this season.
on this season. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, no, I think Matt was supposed to be Love Island. I think Tucker actually sort of understands a little bit of what's going on here. Yeah,
I mean, to know the lore of like the first in whatever,
Right.
like he's got to be at least a mild super-ish fan, you know?
Yeah, that encouraged me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's that.
He just seems like a happy-go-lucky dude to me, Tucker. Like, just a nice guy, just has a good time.
He also apparently went to school with Cody Calafiore. Did you see that?
No.
That's funny. That's funny.
Like, Cody had tweeted something like, there is one person on this cast that I know very, very well. And then pictures are circulating of them in, like, the college days that they apparently went to school together.
That's funny.
Wow. No, that I did not know. That is actually less endearing to me. As you said, you knew Paulie and you were close with him. That feels better. But
I do think it's so funny that like we've reached a point where Paulie is the more endearing Calafiore brother. I feel like at one point that was very opposite.
I don't know that there's ever the case for me. I didn't have a problem with Paulie on Big Brother. I thought he was a little volatile, a little angry, but he didn't give me the ick.
Yeah, I mean, like there was a while where I was not a fan of Paulie, but I also never really was a fan of Cody. So like,
right, I was never a Cody fan. Right.
I never really disliked Cody. Like, I wouldn't say he's my favorite by any means, but I've never been like
I think he sucks.
to Cody.
He sucks.
There's just something about Cody
really,
that makes me really uncomfortable. Like I just feel like,
No, see, I've never really gotten that. He's always kind of been like middle of the pack for me.
I feel like if I was out drinking and having a good time, like I would expect you to not be nice to me if I bumped into you or if I saw you. Like if I was sitting at the bar and like I'm about to order a drink, I feel like if you were sitting at the bar and like shoulders are front, right? Shoulder, and I happen to come over here, I feel like you would turn this way to make sure you weren't even like.
Oh, that is so not the vibe I get.
Yeah, I just don't get.
That's exactly the vibe I get.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't
Huh.
think you'd be intentionally rude to me, but I also don't think you would even leave the door open for us to have an interaction.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and I think it has everything to do with this.
I feel like
my feeling.
I feel like I didn't love Paulie, didn't really love Cody, and then now I actually like Paulie a lot. Like years later. And I actually like Cody less
because we know more now. We know more,
even though I didn't like Cody to begin with.
Right. So there's that. Wow, we're at an hour and 13. There's still a couple things to get into, including a double Julie judgment. All right.
So my God, we haven't even done that yet.
No, we have 2 outfits to judge, which I didn't think was going to be the case, right? I definitely thought this was one night that we just recorded everything. We're going to have the same outfit the entire time, and that was not the case. So let's take a look at what Julie had on. Oh, Julie. What are we wearing this week? Oh, this was her opening night fit. All right. You can also let us know what you think about this, because it's night 1. Again, we're trying all these voting things out. So in the comments, #hot1. All right. If you thought it was a hot for night 1, same for tepid and not. All right. We do have that mid option available. Scan the QR code. Let us know. Get in the comments. Tell us some things. I'm going to say night 1, hot.
I agree. I call it a hot.
Yeah, she looks hot. She does. Night 1 was a hot. It was.
Yeah. We had this beautiful little wrist here, watch on the wrist, platinum, nice fun chunky bracelet on the left. Hair was herring, nice dark blue thing going on here. I enjoy. It's a lot of tepid coming in.
Wow, 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 wow,
Ooh.
wow, wow.
Damn. What happened, y'all? What's your problem? Like what wasn't hidden for you? What wasn't hidden?
Wow.
Oof.
Tepid
Not
for me, says Matt Blevins.
Oh boy, oh boy. I don't know, I thought it was classy. I thought, it's premiere night. What do you wear to make sure you
Yeah,
draw
this
the
was
people in? People who are
this
brand
was a
new
safe
to this.
choice.
Yeah,
It was a
I
safe
thought
choice.
It
It was.
It was safe.
Maybe that's what's bringing it down for people, but I do think she looks good. Listen, it's
I was
Julie's
here
first
for it.
appearance. Yeah, it's her first appearance of the summer. Maybe she played it a little safe, but hey, the hair was on point, makeup was on point, jewelry on point, and hey, the outfit, I thought it was great.
Classy. This is classy.
Yeah, classy. I think you got to give it a hot premiere night.
Classy, something, and badassy.
Yeah.
There's something in between that. What is it?
Is it sassy? I think classy, sassy.
Classy, sassy, and smart assy. That's what it is. You're absolutely right. Didn't Chelsea say that? Actually,
No, it was Brooklyn, I think.
Yes, it was Brooklyn. It was Brooklyn. Yeah. That's a mark against me. It's a mark.
All
All right. Well, I guess audience has it. Tepid. Damn.
Wow.
Boop, boop, boop.
Sorry to Julie. But that's okay because she got another shot this week. That's not usually how things go for her. We had a night 2 outfit. This is what she wore this time. What do you think? I mean, listen, don't play games. This is hot.
100%.
I understand where someone might be tepid leaning.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tepid.
Wow.
You're going tepid
John
on
the
this?
Dissenter. My
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
What? Oh my gosh!
I'm
What do
gonna
you
tepid
mean?
on this.
Why?
I mean, I like the red. I do, but the shape of things at the top of the dress is it makes me feel like it's like a Hunger Games costume. So,
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not into it. I'm sorry. I said hot for night 1.
You don't have to be sorry.
Tepid for this.
I'm just a little surprised.
Listen, people want to vote it a hot. I have no problem with that. I can see it, but for me personally, it's a tepid.
Wow. Well, Matt does say that this was a hot. Should have been premiere night. I could second that. This is a night 1 outfit, but can I challenge you with? This is eviction night. This is when the good dresses come out. She's used to Thursdays. She's not supposed to be working on Wednesday.
She was confused.
Exactly. She's like,
She
listen,
was confused.
You're not getting my best on a Wednesday. I'm not supposed to be here. So, well, I still call this a hot. Did you give it a hot, Gina?
I did. I was so here for this.
Okay. Well, yeah, John's just being rough tonight. I don't know.
I said Judy had a tootie.
Listen, I said hot in the other one, okay?
Judy had a
tootie. I said I liked night 1 was hot. I just didn't like night 2 as much. That's all.
All right. Let's see what's happening here. Let's just bring this out. There's got to be a better way to do this. 2 votes for Angela, 1 for whoever's orange. Who's orange?
Slide it down. Let us see the name.
I don't know. I'm working on it. Gosh. Oh, Quinn. It's
Quinn.
So 2 people from your team. Correct?
I love that for me.
Oh, I guess you would. No one gives a fudge about my team. The hell. Ridiculous. All right.
I'm tired of Angela.
Tired of Angela? Anybody who out there is watching BBUK, she's giving me Kerry vibes from not the celebrity season, but from the original, the reboot that came back in the fall. Except that I don't get the feeling that she's a Tory, so I feel like she's going to be good. She's not going to say some offensive things. She's not going to disappoint us later, but I'm hoping...
Is that what a Tory means? I've always heard that term, but I never knew what it meant.
A Tory is like a Republican here.
Gotcha.
Well, not like no. That's actually not really fair because I don't have an issue with Republicans. I have a problem with MAGA people. There definitely is a difference. because there's the world in which Mitt Romney was not the worst thing in the world. It's like, yeah, they're definitely like those are the worst. So we don't want to get into all that. But Carrie was a Tory, and from what I have gathered from the interwebs, it's not great. It's not great to be so. Um, but like her animated face and everything like that, even just down to the glasses, like I'll have to find a picture of her so you can see her. Like she does give us those vibes. But there's something else exciting to get into.
Yes, there is.
Matt wants us to show the inmate number for.
Oh, it's not on here, I don't think, right?
No, it's not in the
No.
new streamer. No, we don't have that. But we will find it and bring it back for next Thursday because that is something that should not be forgotten. But last night, we were in the city, which is like such a trip for me. You guys were out enjoying your regular life, and I was still commuting. But we went into the city for house chops for Azah's premiere party, night one of her premiere party extravaganza.
Yeah.
And we had ourselves a time. I had a really great night. And I didn't even really get to properly reflect on everything that kind of went down until I was on the way back. Like it
Yeah,
took
we didn't do a real debrief.
no, because it was such a blur. There was just
Yeah.
so many things that
A
happened.
lot going on.
And I felt that the vibe was a little bit more intimate than last year's, which I quite appreciated because I feel like I've made some genuine like connections with some of the people in this community and in this world, and like it just got to be further expanded upon last night, which I really, really loved. But I did ask everybody to select your favorite photo from the evening.
And trust me, we had taken many.
There were a lot of pictures. If you follow me personally on Instagram, you already saw quite a bit of them, and I'm not even really done. I want a proper post for later. I just wanted to make sure that as tonight is going on, because this is the disco night, which I was getting the feeling that more people were excited for than our night, even though we were not. Like, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't forgotten in the mix as they're doing something that they think is more fun. John's favorite photo was the one that he took with Cachet, which is exactly why his last name is now hyphenated to somebody who is not in the game. This is John and Cachet. Cachet came to us from the Love Island universe, but also made an appearance on the Challenge USA. So tell us some things about your experience with Cachet. Why do you love her?
Story time.
Why do you love her? And was this your favorite photo from the evening?
Oh God, she's wonderful. She's beautiful. She's very funny. She's very sweet. And I felt like it was good to see her again. And she remembered us from last time seeing her at house shops last summer. Mm-hmm. She recognized all of us. And like she was just like very fun. She had a conversation with all of us, hung out for a few minutes, and Cachet is just wonderful.
Yeah, she's a real one.
Her vibes are immaculate. She is so much fun. My goodness.
She's fantastic.
As soon as I saw her coming towards us, we were just like Cachet, and she came right over, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's so good to see you guys."
Yeah.
So
really
it was
awesome.
It was really fun. Yeah, and she's always fun taking pictures and doing different poses and stuff too. Mm-hmm. She's fun with that. So.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how you even landed on this picture because you alone have like 4 pictures with her of her making different faces. Like she just like kept going, and I was like, I love her. I love her.
Well, he didn't really land on this. He just said in the group chat that my favorite was with Cachet. So
you made the selection.
Yeah,
I understand.
I can't say this was actually his favorite photo, but it was with the person he named as the favorite. Brett wants to know, does anybody you met that we didn't like? Yes, actually. I
Kyle with the T.
Yeah, that is true. There is somebody there that I did not like. I actually was not as enthused with this person to begin with. And upon meeting them, it was confirmed and stock in them has dropped. However, that's not my brand, and I won't say who.
You gotta tell me off stream though, because I'm not sure.
Yeah, we can most certainly talk off stream. But like no. Yeah,
Interesting.
that did happen. That did happen.
Uh-oh.
I actually did share it with John. John and I had a discussion about it
Oh, well, I am very
because
interested
we
to
had a
hear.
debrief at the hotel
Yeah,
room.
I wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
We need to have our own debrief. I missed
Yeah,
out
we
on all the
do. We
tea.
need a proper debrief for
Yeah,
sure.
there was definitely
Yeah,
someone there that I thought was a bigger douche than I expected.
right, right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Brett, this is fair. Says you trash Cody and never met him. Right. And see, that's a different kind of trashing.
That's the point. That's the point. We
Right,
never
because I
met
don't
him.
right, I don't actually know Cody. So like everything that I said is really based on nothing. Like I could meet him and be completely endeared, my opinion would change. After this, my opinion will not change. I'm done.
Yeah, because
Because it's
we
Right.
did meet this person.
yeah, it's based on something very real. So like now I'm out. So like
I can't believe I don't know who we're talking about.
I can't believe you don't know who we're talking about.
I
That
know.
I find that very surprising. Does it
I
rhyme
must be
with
forgetting something.
Smarian Smarden?
Is that
supposed to be
Smamrin?
Cameron Harden?
Oh, was not in
No,
attendance.
No,
was not in
no.
attendance.
No.
Also doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't think that Azah would invite. So there's that because Azah's about the good vibes, and we're not doing that one. But there's that. Gina submitted 2 photos to be her favorite. She said dealer's choice. And I selected this one because his arm is salivation worthy. We have the Joseph D. Abden, attorney at law.
We sure do.
With the incomparable living
Sharon
legend
Tharp.
behind her, Sharon Tharp.
Yeah, Sharon.
So good, so good.
Oh,
Tell us why this one tickled your fancy.
Well, this picture was hours in the making because I'm going to be so honest with you. We met Joseph last year and was so lovely, like great interactions. Like he's good vibes. We've loved Joseph since he was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him coming into house shops and we were like, "Oh my god, there's Joseph." And then we really saw him and said, "Well, I can't speak to him until there's at least a few drinks in someone's system. Like we can't do this." Very intimidating.
I can't just walk up to you and just start talking to you. You're way too hot. You're so super out of my league. Like I have no right to even approach.
It was so funny though, because then like throughout the night we kept like sharing space with each other, but one of us was always talking to a different person. So kept being like, "Damn it, I miss Joseph again," you know?
Right. But you're welcome because I'm the one who made this happen.
And if you hadn't, this picture never would have. I never would have approached. Never would have happened.
I was like,
and you're welcome.
I just need one more drink. I just tried to say, "Hello, my friend has had enough. She needs a picture with you. I understand you're talking to Sharon, but like."
I literally popped in. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad. Let's stand here."
How do you speak to? That's such an intimidating person, but he's also so lovely, so kind. But like,
yeah,
how is he intimidating? He's literally always smiling.
Kyle, care to take this one?
Because that's the problem. It's just that he's so hot. Like you just don't. You understand you don't have a right to approach without.
An invitation.
Okay, right. I need something. There needs to be some kind of eye contact or something. Like you can't just walk up to somebody who looks like him and just think that you have a right to open a dialogue. Like that's like walking up to Cachet and being like, "I would like to have a conversation with you."
Well, that's what I did last night.
But what was so funny again?
There was already an established thing there. Like she already saw us last year, and like she knew who we were. Kind of, we weren't walking up as strangers with her. Not that he's a stranger,
and like it is such a silly conversation to be having because as
different connection there.
As soon as those lines of communication were open, he literally looked at me like, "Why? Just come over here. Like, why are you nervous?" And I was like, "Well, now I feel silly."
Right. No, it is the silliest thing, but like that doesn't mean it's not a real challenge. Like, like a lot of challenges.
It's also, I will say, like, for the record on the podcast, like he walked in and John was like, "Go say hi." And I went, "No." And he was like, "What do you mean no? Just say hi." I said, "John, no." And he was turned to Kyle to be like, "Oh, can you believe how ridiculous this is?" And Kyle was like, "I'm gonna be so honest. I'm Team Gina on this one. No, we can't."
Because there was also a lot happening in that moment too. Because also at that moment, it wasn't just about Joe. Like he was there, and there was somebody else. And there was somebody else, and it's like
everyone came in at once this year. Like they were all kind of filtering in however they wanted
Yes.
to last year. There was a grand entrance this year. There was truly so much happening.
Right. I kept looking around. I was like, I can't think. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I'm like, there's too much hot. Hey, Eli.
Hi.
But there was just too much going on. And I was like, I don't know how to split my attention. I can't think. And I was just shutting down. So no, I have to say I'm on board with Gina here.
Well.
My favorite photo of the evening.
And what a photo it is.
Yes, the lighting in the top left corner may not be ideal, but when I tell you that I was so absolutely chuffed to meet the Tiffany Mitchell, I went up to her. I said, "You need to understand how hard I went for you for America's Favorite. Like, I campaigned daily. I was like, you have nothing on Joseph Biden." Okay. I went on my story every single day. And I said, if I've ever made you feel good, if I've ever made you smile, if you ever held like an ounce of love for me and you don't know how to pay it back, I need you to text the name Tiffany to 97979. And we're still
Every day.
texting. We're still texting. I tried it today. It said it did not recognize my response.
You tried it today?
I just always just randomly just wake up.
Kyle, baby, she's already won.
It doesn't matter. Just give her more money. All right. But listen, if Merriam-Webster knew as much as she purports to know, if you looked up the term robbed queen, you should only see her. Like she is the actual definition of the phrase. She's everything. Living legend, absolutely incomparable. She is the moment. She is everything. She is Ms. Tiffany Mitchell. And that's it. That's actually not it. I was more endeared towards her because she was so real. When I had approached her, I didn't realize at the moment, but her meal had just arrived and she was starting to cut her burger. And I started talking to her, and I could tell she did not want to have this conversation. And I picked up on it and said, you know what? I feel you. If somebody had walked over when I was eating my chicken wrap that we had earlier in the night, I wouldn't have been too crazy about that either. Treated that properly, but she was so gracious right in that moment. She didn't actually say anything that spurred me to walk away, but I felt like I should. But I was able to reapproach, and we had such a wonderful interaction. And that is actually what makes me like her more. She was definitely having more of an introverted night, was not looking to have these conversations. But when I reapproached and we had it, she was so super receptive to it and was so cool about it. And now we had such a nice exchange even today. And it just being more of a human and being so real in that moment, like really makes me even more endeared towards her. So, I fucking love this woman. I just love her. I just think she's an absolute class act. I can't say enough good things about her. Even when we took this picture, she was like, okay, this picture is no good. I don't like all the light in the top left corner here. And we did take some others. We moved around, but I wasn't comfortable with the amount of thigh that was being shown through the chair.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't know that she knew that was there, so I don't want to post those. Like, that's just, so we're going to deal with this one that has too much light exposure, and those are just for me.
We could tweak the lighting. We could tweak it.
Yeah, we can tweak the light. We can do something else with that.
I edited my pictures. We can edit yours too.
I don't want to do that to her. She was so gracious to me. I'm going to make sure she always looks like the absolute royalty that she is. So we'll leave it just like that. She's a mom. It's inappropriate. But Tiffany is just, she's everything you would hope that she was and that she was.
She's great.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the absolute best. Yeah. 97979. Get your votes in. But speaking of votes, it looks like Angela is people's winner pick for this season. We'll see. Even though she's on Team Morgino, clearly she's not that enthused. It was a last round pick.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
That's actually the opposite of what I said.
didn't say it's what you said. I'm saying it. I'm creating my own narrative. Thank you. So I didn't say you said it, but
Okay, but you spread a misinformation.
I think Angela's going home soon. Real soon.
Ooh. Let's just see if there's another thought. No. Everybody's all in for Angela. They're in for Angela. All right. Is there anything else? Anything else for Big Brother premiere week? We know that Sunday, just if you're still listening, you're still here. Hello, all of you out there. Thanks for hanging in. Y'all been listening for a long time. 90 minutes. Ooh. Chatty Cathy's on tonight. But Sunday night's episode of Big Brother, even though it is conflicting with House of the Dragon, I don't know how the rest of my life is going to play out. I don't know what we're going to do. What do you watch? What a tough decision. We'll pray on it. We'll see where God leads us.
We're going
to pray on it.
I'm going to pray on it. We'll see where God leads us. Order my steps, Lord. But this is a 90-minute episode.
Yeah.
This is a change. All episodes up until wonky September will be at 9 p.m. So we're looking at Sunday from 9 to 10:30. Honestly, I'm more inclined to watch Big Brother because then if you don't, you have to watch it Monday, where House of the Dragon you can just watch as soon as you're done with this.
Yeah.
But if I have to go to my partner's fiance's mom's house, yeah, we'll talk about that later.
What a wild.
I know. It's so normal for me to say, but like, yeah, potty life is confusing. But like, yeah, if I have to go out and I have to be social, then I might be screwed. But we'll kind of see how that one goes. But yeah, just be on alert. We're looking at 90 minutes for Sunday.
Okay.
And as far as we know, the rest are 60. So Sunday is when we're finding out who gets this advantage, right? The deep fake HOH and America's veto. Maybe we'll get some more information regarding the downgraded chain of events and how like things will go with that. I guess they're just sitting there though. I guess it's not really right. There's probably not much else in that. Let's not overthink it. You know. Let's not act like they're that ambitious to give them an extra twist. But Wednesdays was to find out how the veto goes. And then Thursday, we have our first live eviction. Have we seen anything on Twitter or anything regarding like competition schedule changes? Like, can we expect that veto will still be played Monday and we'll know Monday evening what's going on?
As far as I know, that the only thing that I've seen regarding feeds is this whole like you can't rewind or archive or anything anymore.
Right.
And like supposedly there's like some crackdown on clipping for social media too. So I don't know how people are supposed to keep up with feeds this year. I have a lot of
clipping. What do you think they're going to like take it down as like a copyright violation or something?
That's what I've heard.
Oh.
So I have a lot of opinions on what's happening with feeds this year, but
yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah,
Well, we'll find out soon because I have the page up here, and the live feeds are scheduled to start in less than 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, they're starting after the West Coast airing.
Mm-hmm.
It's 12:08. I took a nap.
Yeah, we're gonna find out.
In-house jobs. I'll be up. I'll be looking. I got nothing to do tomorrow. I have grounded myself after the amount of money that was spent this week.
So it reminds me, I still have to send you money for the ticket. I still have to send you money for the ticket.
Oh. You know what? Thank you. As friends, you don't know what to do about that. Like, I wasn't going to bring it back up, and I was like,
no, please bring it up.
No, I don't want you to feel bad. It feels like
don't feel bad. I owe you money.
I mean, you do, but I wasn't going to say anything. So, like, thanks for being honest. You're a real one. Thank God. Thank God. Yeah. But I'm still grounding myself. Because even with that does not cover what I spent in drinks last night. So and the hotel and everything like that. So I'm grounded. So I'll be totally wired into the feeds. Follow us on Twitter. Okay, Elon changed things. In order for us to stream to you on Twitter, we had to become verified. All right, we did not want the blue check mark, but in order for us to present to you in the way that we like to do, we got to pay $8 a month. So it's going to make it worth it. We're going to be using it a lot now. All right, so follow us on Twitter, Strat Chat Pod. You can find us everywhere else, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, all the things. And yeah, we're excited for BB26. This is gonna be a lot of fun. We are still figuring out now what we're going to do about Claim to Fame, and when we'll be reviewing that. So just another reason to follow us on the socials. Find us there. And then we have the challenge starting in, what is that? Is that the 10th or the 7th? I'm looking at the wrong calendar.
I'm honestly not
'Cause it's
sure.
off. I think it's the 14th. I think the 14th is when the challenge is back, because I
I
think
think you might be right. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like there's like a preseason something or other, like a preseason preview that's coming on the 7th.
Yeah, it's gonna get busy. It's gonna get busy real quick.
It is going to get busy, so all the more reason to follow us there to find out exactly how we handle it all. Is there anything else for the benefit of the community?
That's all I got.
No, that's it. Excited for a new season.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's going to be really, really good. But all right. Thank you all for hanging. Thanks for watching, and we will see you very soon.